When Natalie, my mother-in-law, handed me a teddy bear as a wedding gift, she did so with a smile, saying it was from her and our son. The bear was adorable, but her gesture left me puzzled. Our relationship had been rocky, and her sudden warmth felt out of character. I first met Liam, her son, at the gym where he helped me navigate a complex exercise machine. We connected instantly, and after dating for a year, he proposed on my birthday. Life with Liam has been wonderful, though concerns about my rapport with Natalie occasionally clouded my happiness. Liam's family wealth was evident when we visited their grand mansion, a stark contrast to Liam's modest lifestyle, which I greatly admired. My father had always emphasized the importance of financial independence, and I found Liam's frugal approach very appealing. However, my initial interactions with Natalie were less than ideal. She seemed to take an immediate dislike to me, once making a disparaging remark about my job as a remote worker, suggesting I did nothing but play on the computer all day. Her words hurt, especially since I pride myself on my work ethic and responsibility. Despite these challenges, stories of childhood friends turning into lifelong partners filled me with hope, though I wondered how common such stories were. Natalie's attitude hadn't improved, leading Liam and me to cut our visit short. On the drive home, Liam apologized profusely for his mother's behavior, explaining that she was struggling with some issues involving another family member named Lori, and unfortunately had misdirected her frustrations at me. He promised to discuss this with his father later. Natalie's behavior caused me to question my decision to marry into the family, but my love for Liam remained strong, and I wasn't ready to give up on us. In a quiet resolve, I made a secret vow to prove Natalie wrong. After the wedding, Liam's father, Bruce, suggested we consider moving into a guest house on their estate, explaining that it had been vacant for years. He mentioned how easy it is to lose touch with friends as one gets older, seemingly offering the house as a peace offering and a chance for us to maintain our independence while staying close. This gesture offered a glimmer of hope for a better relationship moving forward. Feeling a mix of emotions, I rang my mom and showed her the teddy bear that Natalie, my mother-in-law, had given us. To my surprise, she insisted that I get rid of it immediately, a reaction that left me stunned. Overwhelmed, I found myself rushing to the police station. My name is Diana. I'm 30 years old and I work remotely from home. I've been happily married to Liam for about a year. We haven't started a family yet, but life together has been joyful, save for some concerns regarding my relationship with Natalie. Liam and I first met at a local gym, where he helped me with a challenging exercise machine. We clicked right away, and a year later, he proposed to me on my birthday. Married life with Liam has been mostly wonderful, but it hasn't been without its hurdles, particularly involving his mother. During our first visit to Liam's family mansion, I was struck by their affluence. Liam, however, prefers a simpler life, which I deeply respect. My dad always emphasized the value of being financially independent, so Liam's thrifty habits appealed to me. Despite our shared values, my interactions with Natalie were strained from the start. She seemed to take an instant dislike to me, even making a biting remark about my job, implying that working remotely meant I just played on the computer all day. Her words hurt, especially since I take my job seriously and strive to be diligent and accountable. While I loved hearing stories about people who end up marrying their childhood friends, Natalie's continued hostility made me question if such happy endings were as common as they seemed. When Natalie's attitude failed to improve, Liam and I decided it was best to cut our visit short. On our way home, Liam apologized profusely for his mother's behavior, explaining that she was dealing with some issues concerning another family member named Lori and had unfairly taken it out on me. He promised to speak with his father about the situation. Natalie's actions made me wonder if marrying Liam was the right decision, but my love for him was still strong and I wasn't ready to give up. In response, I quietly vowed to prove Natalie wrong. After our wedding, Liam's father, Bruce, suggested that we consider moving into a guest house on their property. It had been empty for some time, he explained, noting how easy it is to drift apart from friends as one age. He thought living nearby would help maintain connections. The guest house was immaculate and spacious, far more comfortable than many homes, despite having been unoccupied for years. After discussing it with Liam, I accepted his father's generous offer, hopeful that it might also help mend the relationship with Natalie and bring some peace to our family dynamic. Moving into the guest house brought unforeseen challenges, primarily from Natalie, who lived just a short walk away. She began to make uninvited visits, during which she would criticize every aspect of my home life, from the cleanliness of the house to the way I prepared meals. She also disparaged my remote work, dismissing it as not being real work and unfavorably comparing me to Lori, Liam's ex, who seemed to have been perfect in her eyes. These critiques typically happened when Liam was not present, which made the situations even more difficult to handle. Initially, I tried to defend myself, but Natalie had a knack for twisting my words, leaving me feeling defeated and exasperated. Over time, I learned that engaging with her only heightened my stress, so I began to ignore her comments, hoping she would tire of her behavior. However, this only seemed to provoke her further, and she escalated her tactics to more overt forms of harassment. She would hide community newsletters, withhold messages from neighbors, and even mess up the laundry I had just folded, sometimes handling it with dirty hands to leave stains. Natalie didn't stop there. She would help herself to food from my fridge, open my mail packages, and criticize my purchases as wasteful. Her actions began to cause real damage, and it was clear I could no longer overlook her behavior. Reaching my breaking point, I decided it was time to confront Natalie directly. Enough is enough, Natalie. Even if you have unresolved issues because of Lori, this is going too far. Why do you keep harassing me like this? I stood firm, arms crossed, ready to face her. Natalie seemed taken aback by my resolve, but quickly retorted. I face challenges as a new bride too, but I never complain to my in-laws like you do. You're quite headstrong. Once you marry into a family, shouldn't you serve and respect your husband's parents? That's how it used to be. Her response shook me. You think it's all right to treat me this way just because you went through it as a bride? I asked, stunned by her cold and firm stance. Yes, I do, Natalie replied without hesitation, and I won't stop. I can't accept someone like you as Liam's wife. If you don't like it, just divorce him. Her words were chilling, revealing the depth of her disdain and the extent she was willing to go to make me feel unwelcome. This confrontation highlighted the serious nature of our issues and made me reconsider how to move forward, not just for my well-being, but for the health of my marriage to Liam. Natalie's startling declaration left me completely dumbfounded. It was painfully obvious that trying to reason with her would be futile. Reluctantly, I realized I needed to involve Liam, as handling this on my own was becoming impossible. When I finally shared everything with Liam, how his mother was not only intruding on our privacy but also maligning us to our neighbors, he was visibly upset. What is my mother thinking? I've repeatedly told her to leave you alone, and now she's even involving the neighbors? It's one thing to badmouth, but entirely another to disrupt our lives like this. I'm so sorry you're going through this. I'll talk to her tonight. True to his word, Liam confronted Natalie that very evening at our home. Despite her tearful protests, he firmly told her, "Enough is enough. If this happens again, I won't forgive you." For a brief moment, it seemed his words had an impact. Natalie stopped visiting us, and we enjoyed a short period of tranquility. However, the peace was short-lived. About a week later, just as I was starting to feel more settled, the doorbell rang. They stood Natalie, smiling broadly, inexplicably holding a teddy bear. Her presence in the gift puzzled me. "Hi, Natalie, what brings you here today?" I asked cautiously. She appeared contrite and softly replied, "I'm sorry for everything. Liam scolding me made me realize how childish I've been, taking out my frustrations about Lori on you. I've come to apologize properly. I realized I never gave you a proper wedding gift, so I thought this teddy bear would be nice. Isn't it cute? I wish you and Liam all the happiness." Although I thanked her, the gesture felt out of place. I'm not particularly keen on teddy bears or stuffed animals as wedding gifts. Something practical like kitchenware or appliances would have made more sense, especially considering our recent issues. Her choice of gift made me wonder if there was an ulterior motive. Feeling uneasy about her sudden change in demeanor and the peculiar gift, I decided to seek advice from my mom, who lived nearby. I had confided in her before about Natalie's previous actions, and her insights had always helped me navigate this challenging relationship. Previously, when I had shown the teddy bear to my mother, her usually calm demeanor shifted dramatically. Her face lit up with excitement. "Diana, your dad brought some sweets as a souvenir. Let's place the teddy bear in the living room and have some coffee first. Help me set things up," my mom suggested, her tone a bit off despite her casual words. Feeling uneasy about her sudden behavior change, I followed her into the kitchen. As soon as I entered, she grabbed my shoulder with a grave expression. "You need to get rid of that bear quickly, otherwise something terrible could happen." "Why the sudden urgency? Is there something wrong with the teddy bear?" I asked, confused and alarmed. "Calm down and listen," she urged, then explained the situation. After hearing her reasons, I was left speechless by the extent of Natalie's manipulative tactics, and my patience wore thin. "I understand now. Then I need to respond appropriately," I resolved, placing the teddy bear prominently in the living room to wait for Liam's reaction. When Liam arrived home and noticed the bear, he asked, "Isn't it cute? Did you buy this?" "No, this is a wedding gift from your mother," I replied. "From Mom? Why would she give a teddy bear?" Liam asked, puzzled. I pulled him aside to fill him in on the full story and enlisted his help with a plan we formulated together. A few hours later, Liam and I engaged in a staged, heated argument to draw out Natalie's true intentions. "You preferred Lori because she was nicer, just like your mom said. That's why you wanted to marry her?" I accused him loudly. "I never said that. You're reading too much into it," Liam retorted, our voices rising as planned. "That's it. Marrying someone like you was a mistake. Let's get divorced right now," he declared loudly. At that very moment, as if on cue, Natalie burst into our house. She stood in the doorway, a broad smile plastered on her face, triumphantly believing she had finally gotten her way. "Liam, you finally see the truth. She's the worst wife. Strong-willed and not cute at all," Natalie gloated, thinking her manipulations had succeeded. This confrontation was the final piece in exposing Natalie's true colors and intentions, providing us with the evidence we needed to address her behavior openly. Natalie's initial satisfaction quickly morphed into confusion as Liam and I, who had just been embroiled in what seemed like a heated argument, now stood united with a cold, unyielding stare directed at her. Calmly, I broke the silence. "You noticed we were arguing, didn't you, Natalie?" She hesitated, her response faltering as she attempted to justify her suspiciously timed entrance. "It was just a hunch. I just felt it," she stammered, but her shifting eyes betrayed her unease. "Don't lie. Tell the truth," I pressed. "You rigged the teddy bear with a surveillance camera and a bug, didn't you?" I confronted her with the accusation, unveiling the truth my mother had discerned. After learning about Natalie's peculiar gift, my mom recalled a similar incident reported in the news where a woman was spied on through a stuffed animal. Natalie's face froze as she realized the gravity of the situation. "On my way back today, I went to the police station to report this. They should be arriving any minute now," I informed her, watching as panic flickered across her face. "That's ridiculous. Don't joke about this. Calling the police over such a thing is an overreaction. Call them back and cancel it right now," she pleaded desperately. "Planting cameras and listening devices in someone's home is a serious crime," I retorted. "It's your fault. You were so overbearing that I felt I had to find something to hold over you. You are an outrageous woman." Natalie tried to shift the blame, her voice tinged with anger. Liam finally reached his breaking point with his mother. "Enough is enough. I've never been more ashamed to call you my mother. I thought you regretted how you treated Diana, but then you pulled something like this," he declared, his disappointment palpable. "Please don't be angry, Liam. I was doing it for you." Natalie tried to justify her actions, seeking to manipulate the situation to her favor. Yet her excuses could no longer mask the severity of her actions or the breach of trust she had caused. Liam's voice was firm and unwavering as he addressed his mother. "Committing a crime is not justified just because you're my mother. I shouldn't have been lenient with you. I'm going to inform Dad about this, and I'm cutting ties. Stay away from Diana and me." Natalie's reaction was immediate and dramatic. She began to scream, tears streaming down her face, trying to offer apologies. Liam stopped her mid-sentence. "You're apologizing to the wrong person," he said, then turned to me. "Diana, I'm sorry. I felt like I was losing Liam to you and made a foolish mistake. I deeply regret it. I promise not to oppose you again. Please forgive me," she pleaded desperately. But after everything she had done, including the disturbing incident with the teddy bear, forgiveness seemed impossible. "I will never forgive you," I stated. "I reached out to you multiple times, and each time you ruined it. How could I forgive such a malicious act? Sorry might suffice for children, but as adults we must face the consequences of our actions," I told her firmly, unmoved by her continued pleas. Neither Liam nor I could feel any sympathy for her. Soon after, the police arrived and gave her a stern warning. Weeks later, Bruce, fed up with her reckless spending and her mistreatment of me, especially the teddy bear incident, decided it was the last straw. He divorced her, and she was removed from the house. Natalie now lives in a rundown apartment, juggling multiple part-time jobs, a direct consequence of her actions. I hope this turn of events leads her to reflect on her choices and perhaps change for the better. As for me, I am thankful to now live in peace, surrounded by the kindness and support of Liam and Bruce. In just a few months, we'll be welcoming our long-awaited baby into the world. The anticipation of meeting our little one fills us with joy and excitement for the future.